Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for another episode of the Bakubeytuber adventures. So, I'll reiterate one more time for anybody who doesn't know what this series is. Basically, it's a series just talking about some behind the scenes stuff with some big time events that have happened, that I've witnessed and such, and have a very, very special place in my heart. So, a lot of them you guys know happened, but, might not have seen some behind the scenes things with it, because a lot of stuff happens, like you film and then there's like behind the scenes stuff that just happens when you're just hanging out and such. But yeah, so time to talk about some more behind the scenes stuff with the Bakubeytuber adventures. So we have episode number 2 here, and this one, I guess I'll just call it meeting the legend Zankye. Yeah, man, so this is the story behind the first time I ever met Zankye in person. Not sure if you're actually going to see this video, but if so, like, Zankye, is absolute honor whenever, like, seeing you and meeting up with you and being able to battle and such. It's just a blessing, dude. But with this, I have the story of the first time I met Zankye. So at this point, in my life, I had just finished college. I just graduated, like, about a month or two, like, yeah, about 6 weeks before this. And the backstory with it was actually when I was at senior week at my college. I got a message. I didn't even realize that I had a message, but it messaged me, and then I saw it after I had gotten home, and I checked, and I was like, "Oh God! Like, holy crap!" They messaged that they wanted to like do a collab and such, because I told them how I live in New York and such, and obviously New York not being that far from Canada, set up this collab. And then I was like, yeah, I mean, I'd love to. I'd be totally honored to. Like, holy crap! And then sure enough, they're like, yeah, okay, we'll come out for this day and we'll do a collab. I said, holy crap! So got the days off from my work and such, and just sat and like freaked out. So around this time, this was July 2017. And around this time, this is obviously when Burst was in God or Evolution. So those days, man, like we were right in the middle of it during the summer, just kicking off. And just those days, man, the vibes, obviously, everything was crazy. Even YouTube in general, like the Bay tubing community was like totally different, man. It was just crazy, man. But, like even now, things are pretty awesome with the community and such. But everybody, I'm sure, remembers the vibes back then, like during God and Evolution. Well, it was during God because Evolution wasn't out yet. This was when we were getting Beyblade Burst Season 1 in the US, but then we were getting God or Evolution. You were getting God in Japan. So around this time, this is when Drain Fafnir just dropped. I think Sieg Excalibur just dropped at this point too. And I think the newest Bay was Legend Spriggan, right when it came out. That's right. So leading up to this, like I said, I was so excited and I was super nervous because at this point, besides Tajin, there was nobody that I ever really faced. Like a full out religious blader that does this big time. You know what I mean? Besides like Tajin and obviously the friends that I gotten into it in college. Zankye was the very first blader that I had ever faced. And it was just wild, dude. Like blader on this scale. And it was him. It was Zankye. Like, holy crap. Like I was crazy hype and such. I'm like, dude, this is really happening. This is really happening. I woke up really early. I couldn't sleep because I woke up really, really early. I don't wake up early like that often. Well, now I do because obviously working and such. But then, nah. Because right after graduating college, having to pull all-nighters and such, thesising, I was like, nah, man. I couldn't even wake up past like noon. If I was lucky, maybe 11:30. But I woke up really, really early. I just couldn't sleep. And I started doing the graffiti tag. And so, I just wrote Zankye on it. I'm like, I gotta make like a tag or something. I gotta give him a big time gift because he's going all the way out here just doing this collab. I'm like, I gotta give him some art. So, sure enough, made the tag. It says Zankye on it. I showed it off in the video. Like, he has a video on his channel. I have the video on my channel. Basically like Kimbo meets Zankye or Zankye meets Kimbo. And it was just surreal, dude. I was cheesing like crazy. I was also like wearing a shirt repping my college. But I was cheesing like crazy. So I was working on the piece actually, and I had gotten it done. And then after that, I just did like a few test battles. I'm like, okay, let's just do some battles. Why not? I got some pretty good bays. I mean, I was caught up pretty well at that time. I mean, I had up till Tornado Wyvern. and I did have Sieg. I don't think. Well, I think I ordered Sieg, and Sieg wasn't out yet. 'Cause I think Legend Spriggan had just gotten released. But he managed to get it and such. But yeah, I think I did have like a Tempest or a Tornado Wyvern, and then also had like Lost Longinus and like a few other bays and such too. I was pretty caught up at the time period. But then I remember going out of my house. I was sitting there just waiting, and I remember going out of my house, and all I heard was Kimbo because they were looking around the complex. I didn't know that they were like there. Um, I gave them like the directions and everything, like so like a GPS it and such, and sure enough, they found it. And then they were going around the complex, so it was a small complex. You guys have seen the complex. A few people living in it, and I guess asking people like where I was at, and I just went outside and I just heard Kimbo, and then I see Zankye's dad, and I see Zankye himself walk up. Dude, I felt my freaking spirit in my body like just go. It just like I became a ghost. I was like, like I was like baffled, dumbfounded, because I've watched Jenkie's vids since he was way younger. Like really talking back like 2010, 2011 days, man. I was watching his videos ever since then. When he was the hi, I'm Jose Lemos, you know, from BeybladeWorld.net, and it was just crazy, dude, and all the hype battles and such. It's just wild. The grind that he puts in and such on the regular is absolutely nuts, man. And keeping that up, like, just doing that grind myself and just grinding out that much myself, it's big time respect because it takes a lot to do so. I know he knows so, and anybody who uploads videos on the regular knows so. But yeah, just saying, like, big time props. I've never said that, but I always give props and such. But just met up with him and then just talk with his dad and him as well. And then they're like, yeah, we're just going to go down here and get things set up. So I had one of my good friends with me. Her name's Leanna, but I had one of my had her with me, and she actually witnessed this. Like she came over because she wanted to hang out, but I was like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this collab, and she understood that and sat and actually watched it, and it was surreal, man. Like I remember going back up. I got my bays and I walked down, and I'm like, okay, this is where I start filming. And then I made a little clip, obviously, of like making the graffiti design, and then made the actual video walking down to the pavilion. That's why I see the pavilion and the complex in general as being like so sacred and such, but especially the pavilion, because that's where Zankye and I battle. We battle in front of the pavilion and such. But it was absolutely surreal, dude. Just walking down and him getting everything set up. They got their camera and such set up so they could get their footage, and then did his intro and stuff with him. And then sure enough, got into doing some of the battles, and it was just so wild. So yeah, at the time, Legend Spriggan was I think the newest release that had come out. I don't think Sieg came out quite yet. But it was just oh man, it was surreal. um And sure enough, we just did the battles. We just had a bunch of battles on screen, and it was really fun, dude. I had so much fun just battling him and such. I'm like, I'm actually battling like a big time blader. Like, holy crap, this is wild, Because obviously I had like battle with Tasia and such, but at that point I was like, oh my gosh. And plus Tasia had been away from the college for like about a year, but it was just absolutely crazy. It was absolutely nuts, man. Um, and sure enough, like in the middle of it, they gifted me like the latest wave of like burst stuff. I was like, oh my god, what? Like, and they gifted me like the red stadium. I'm just still shook. I'm absolutely still shook, man. They're just so generous and just absolutely amazing. And that battle and that time period, just making all those videos, well, just doing that video and doing all those battles was absolutely awesome, man. And just like I said, again, like thank you so much, Zankye and Mr. Lemos. It was an absolute honor, man. Absolute honor just meeting you guys then, and you being the first ones I'd ever bladed against. It was just so cool getting to talk to them. But yeah, dude, just thinking about it, like I get goosebumps just thinking about like meeting Zankye and Mr. Lemos. It was wild. Like the battle, the whole lead up to it, and then afterwards, like going and hanging out with my friend. I actually went camping, and I had to tell like my friend that a few of her friends, about like about this, that I just done this. She's like, yeah, this legit just happened, and it was surreal, man. And just even like talking to my parents afterwards, I'm like, just battled Zankye. Like, what? This is my life right now, dude. I was shook. Like, just coming off of graduating college and then that happening. Absolutely wild, man. So crazy. But yeah, guys, so that's the story of how I met Zankye. And it was just so surreal. And like I said, absolutely honored and blessed. And all the times I've like seen him and such, met up with him and battled and such since then, absolutely blessed and honored, man. But yeah, guys, so guess that's it for this episode of the Bakubeytuber Adventures number 2. Number 3 is gonna be awesome. It's actually a little bit not too far after this time period, but yeah, man. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice the crap out of that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content, because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. Till then, stay awesome and cool. Shoot. Also, like back then, 2017, I had my yellow gloves on. Dang, man, I had the yellow gloves. That's when the tradition really started. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm up out of here.